Right Honorable Speaker, Sahiba Gafarova, Speaker of the Milli Majlis of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Distinguished Mr. Mukhtar Babayev, President of COP29, Honorable Speakers who are present here, Members of Parliament, and distinguished guests. I would also like to recognize the presence of the Secretary General of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, Mr. Martin Chugong. I stand before you with a sense of honor and responsibility as the President of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, representing the global organization of parliaments dedicated to fostering collaboration, upholding democratic values, and addressing the critical challenges of our time. It is inspiring to see the impressive number of participants here, with over 300 parliamentarians registered for this meeting. This is a testament to our shared commitment to climate action. This gathering reflects the power of unified parliamentary action and engagement, bringing together voices from around the world in the pursuit of solutions to the climate crisis. I would like to acknowledge and extend my deepest appreciation to Mr. Simon Steele, the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. His commitment to steering the international community towards sustainable climate solutions serves as an inspiration for the work of parliaments worldwide. As a former senior minister and a parliamentarian, he understands the fundamental role of legislative bodies in translating climate ambitions into action. Through his leadership, he emphasizes the urgency for national and global priorities to align with the Paris Agreement goals, an alignment in which parliaments play a central role. Having been so warmly received and wholeheartedly welcomed, we, the members of parliament here, extend our sincere appreciation to the city of Baku for hosting COP29, a platform that reflects Azerbaijan's commitment to championing climate solutions and setting a high standard for a global cooperation on climate action. Our gratitude is extended to the Milli Majlis of the Republic of Azerbaijan, which is led by Right Honorable Sahiba Gafarova. Madam Speaker, we all here thank you so much for all the preparations you have put into place. And at the same time, as IPU, we appreciate again, Madam Speaker, your accepting to co-host this event and building on the significant milestone of COP28, which was held in the UAE, Dubai, where a parliamentary meeting took place within the COP Green Zone for the first time, and this is the second time. By providing this essential platform, Azerbaijan is reinforcing the role of parliaments in climate governance and affirms their impact in translating climate goals into actionable policies that resonate at all levels of governance. The warmth and generosity we have experienced here in Baku embody the spirit of inclusion and partnership, encouraging us all to work together to address the climate crisis. Dear friends, dear colleagues, the IPU's mandate is rooted in a commitment to strengthen parliamentary institutions, empower legislators, and ensure that the voices of the people are heard on the global stage. We work to promote international dialogue, advance sustainable development goals, and champion human rights, striving to create societies that are just, equitable, and resilient. Climate change is one of the defining issues of our mandate because it impacts all aspects of our lives, be it social, economic, and environmental. It challenges us to look beyond immediate national interests. Instead, focus on well-being of the entire planet and future generations. Dear colleagues, dear friends, tackling this global crisis requires not only effective policies and legislation, but also sustainable political will. The IPU is committed to mobilizing and strengthening this will within parliaments worldwide, empowering them to take climate action through advocacy, capacity building, and collaboration. Since the adoption of the Paris Agreement, the IPU has supported the development of climate-related legislation and provided resources and training to help align national policies with global climate goals. Notable examples include the 10 actions for stronger national commitments launched as part of the IPU's Parliaments for the Planet campaign, and our recently launched toolkit on strengthening parliamentary oversight of nationally determined contributions, both of which offer support to parliaments in overseeing and strengthening their nationally determined contributions, ensuring national goals align with global climate targets. Dear colleagues, in just 1 year, since the last parliamentary meeting, the world has witnessed a series of extreme weathers, events that have severely impacted vulnerable communities. Record heat waves have led to droughts and water shortages, while intensified storms have caused widespread devastation. Historic droughts have resulted in energy blackouts, water rationing, and extensive wildfires exacerbated by food insecurity. Unprecedented flooding has displaced millions and destroyed infrastructure. These events have left no region untouched, affecting the communities and constituents we represent here today. By the end of 2023, 7.7 million people were internally displaced by disasters, a number that excludes those uprooted by slower onset crises like rising sea levels and environmental degradation. Having said that, I would like once again to recognize the efforts by our speaker here, who has invited the Secretary General of SEEDS. And I believe as members of Parliament, it is our responsibility also to take into account the challenges that small island developing states go through. And so, Madam Speaker, you have done well. Congratulations. That said, colleagues, climate change is increasingly driving extreme weather events, putting countless more people at the risk of losing their homes and livelihoods. As we reflect on these impacts, we must ask ourselves, what kind of a world do we want to leave to our children and future generations? A world of scarcity, where water shortages, food insecurity, and displacement are the norm? Or a world where our commitment today creates a sustainable and resilient future? These are the types of decisions that will shape the lives of the generations to come. As we convene here at COP29, we must acknowledge that approximately 733 million people, 1 in every 11 globally, are currently facing hunger, a crisis intensified by climate change's relentless impacts. We stand at a point where ambition must meet action, and words must translate into meaningful change. Parliamentarians hold significant responsibility in this effort and this urgent phase of climate action, bridging the gap between international agreements and national implementation. With our authority to enact and oversee legislation, we ensure that climate policies and laws are ambitious, practical, and enforceable. We are uniquely positioned to scrutinize government action, allocate resources effectively, and mobilize public support, making climate action a priority at all levels. COP29 carries unique significance by advancing fundamental areas which are essential to our shared climate goals. It emphasizes the importance of new climate financing commitments, increased national climate ambition, and important steps forward in adaptation, loss, and damage efforts. Building upon the momentum from COP28, we now turn to implementing these ambitions with clarity and urgency. Colleagues, the focus of this parliamentary meeting shows the depth and complexity of the issues before us, but we must rise to the challenge. Let us commit to translating the commitments made here into impactful policies that drive resilience, adaptation, and mitigation at all levels. Together, we can forge partnerships that transcend borders, ensuring our efforts are inclusive and responsive to the unique challenges faced by each nation. Let us act with urgency, ambition, and determination needed to build a sustainable, climate-resilient future for generations to come. I thank you for listening.